The human brain is an amazing thing. It's a supercomputer capable of processing massive amounts of information. However, the brain is not without fault. So in today's TheListBomb, we cover the top 8 brain fails. Starting off at number 8, sleep paralysis. Have you ever woken up unable to move, unable to scream, almost like a ghost or alien was holding you in place? This is sleep paralysis. It's essentially a misfire in the brain, where the conscious part of your brain wakes up about 10 to 60 seconds before the part controlling your motor system. Now, I've personally experienced this once in my entire life. I will say, it's frightening. It does feel like something is holding you down against your will. Fortunately, it doesn't last long, and it rarely occurs in people. Number 7, error correction. Read the following sentence. Did you notice anything wrong in the sentence? Take a look at it again. If you didn't, you're not like most people. Most people didn't see "the" was repeated twice in the sentence. The brain is amazing at getting to the root of information, to the point that it will remove what's either not needed or is an error. Most of the time this is helpful, but it does show you that you should proofread everything. Number 6, the Zeignark Effect. Ever get a song stuck in your head that you'd like to forget? Just think of the end of the song. According to the Zeignark Effect, your mind will not let go of things that are unfinished. So thinking of the end of a song will close the loop and allow you to get the song out of your head. Number 5, forgetting the obvious. Who hasn't walked into a room desperately looking for something only to realize that it was in your hand or you were already wearing it the whole time? This is one of the most common brain fails. Just about everyone has experienced it or will experience it. It's due to the way the brain processes information. I mean, you saw the item in front of you, but your brain doesn't believe it. It thinks that it wasn't really there, it was an error, so it removes it from your vision. Number 4, time. Everyone's heard the saying, time flies when you're having fun. The reality is more like you lose track of time when you're having fun. The main reason for this is your brain lets go of tasks such as keeping time to focus on what's bringing you enjoyment. This is why 3 hours in an amusement park only feels like 30 minutes. Vice versa, when you're doing something you don't enjoy, the brain goes into overdrive and time appears to slow down. This brain fail would improve our lives dramatically if we could only swap its effects. Number 3, selective attention. To all the men out there, take a look at this picture. Unfortunately, you've all been killed. If you didn't have selective attention, you would have spotted the velociraptor. Don't believe me? Look again. This is a prime example of how your brain will exclude vital information while focusing on something. Number 2, memory manipulation. Let me ask you a question. The Monday before last, did you wear a striped shirt? Take a moment, try to remember. Now, to those of you who don't own a striped shirt, the answer is obviously no. But for those of you that do, things get a little bit fuzzy. In all honesty, you might not have worn a striped shirt that day. However, the act of simply thinking about that day in the context of a striped shirt actually modified the memory of that day. You now think you might have worn a striped shirt that day. Your memory is not like a book. Memory is more like clay. It can be molded, and once molded, it can be remolded. Your brain makes things up to fill in gaps. And it's for this very reason that eyewitness testimony in court cases is considered the lowest form of evidence. All too often, people, when asked questions they don't know the answer to, will make something up that feels right. Once this has been done, what they've made up actually gets stored with the memory as a factual element, regardless if it was actually a fact. And your number one brain fail is patterns and mind control. If you haven't seen the movie Inception, you really should. The movie is about going into a person's dream and implanting an idea in a way that the person believes it was their own idea. Now, that was just a movie. However, the concept of implanting an idea is very real. It's not just real, it's something that's done to you every day. And it's done using patterns. The human brain is built around pattern recognition, and a great deal of empirical research indicates that human psychology is actually structured to find meaning in patterns. Patterns naturally grab our attention, and they create comfort and familiarity. Using patterns, advertisers, politicians, spiritual leaders, and even educators implant ideas in your mind without you even realizing it. It's not just visual patterns either. Auditory patterns work just as well. For example, if I say, monkeys like strawberries, monkeys like strawberries, monkeys like strawberries. Do monkeys like strawberries? I don't know. But now you assume they might, because I presented a pattern that could very well be true. Patterns are one of our greatest strengths. Coincidentally, they're also one of our greatest weaknesses, and you should always watch out for people using them against you. So just to give you an example of how much our brains fail, did you spot Shia LaBeouf in the video? Watch it again and see.